Alright guys, we're going to go through the motivational poster lesson here. So first off, I'm going to get to our week 1, day 1 lesson plan and check out our student examples. So one concept that we talk about are the CRAP design principles. The CRAP design principle stands for contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. So here's an example of a good project that you're going to be making, or a good product of a student's that displays good contrast. All right, the contrast we can see is this dark font on the light background. All right, uh, the repetition could be in the fact that they use the same font here and here. This font is just slightly italicized. Also, they repeated the color black. Right, they repeated the color black here from the black on his outfit. So even though like those are things we don't think about, if this color was say a maroon, right, you would be thrown off to why it's maroon. All right, maroon is a dark red. There's no red in this picture, so the fact that it's black repeats the black in his outfit. So alignment deals with, well, alignment and proximity in my mind kind of go together. Alignment, we have it in the top left hand corner. Naturally, our human brains read and view things from the top down, left to right, just like we read. So when we look at a poster, our eyes tend to go top down, left, right. All right, so we start here by looking at if you can dream it, you can do it, and then our eyes transition to the snowboarder and kind of the snow coming off the mountain. All right, so alignment can be the spacing in between here and here. You can see that the alignment in this picture is like the spacing. This is a little bit wider than it is up top. So ideally, you'd want to bring this down just a hair so that this is similar to this. Once again, another example of repetition, but more so, I guess, alignment. Also, the proximity, right? The proximity, the size of this font and text box in accordance to the snowboarder and the mountains, right? If we put this down here and it covers the mountains, or if we put it right over the snowboarder, the proximity of our font to the main image in the picture don't flow. So these are design principles that you could teach a full year on and go more in depth with. But I just want to give you the basics of the CRAP principles and how we need to use them just to make our posters look and flow and be readable to our viewers. All right. So once you're done examining those, and let me just flip through some of these really quick. So once again, we can see the repetition between the font color and Ronaldo's shoes. And as you're going to go through here, you're going to see them get a little bit worse over time. And just kind of think to yourself, what makes it, not flow or work as well as these two? It could be as simple as picture quality, right? We can see that this picture just isn't as crispy and clean, and it's a little pixelated. Here is one of my big pet peeves is this is standard font. This is like the standard font that you get when you make a text box. So they put zero thought in the font they used. They just put in a text box and wrote a quote. So very little thought behind where it goes, the alignment, centering, font style. I think this one could be better if they just made the quote centered and much bigger and bolder. In my mind, guys, I truly believe bigger and bolder oftentimes when you're doing something is a better way to go than smaller and kind of more frail. This font is just impossible to read. Sometimes you can have too many words. Kind of takes away from the image and takes away, it's just too long of a quote to read for kind of the motivational poster we're making. Same thing here, just a very long quote. if they're doing the Green Bay Packers, I think the color should be green and gold in the font, not blue. I think the blue is a little questionable. Contrast is here is poor, and the student just didn't turn one in. So, to get this project underway, what you're going to do is go to the lesson plan, and you're going to select West Wolverines. This is the picture we're going to be using today. So I'm in Chrome. Many of you are probably going to be in Safari, but you'll see a download button. When you click the download button, it'll come up here. I'm going to retype out a name just because to make it easier to find. West Wolverines. I'm going to make sure it's going in my downloads here. All right. Always check and see what folder the picture is getting saved in, so when you go look for the picture, you know where to find it. All right, you saw this little icon pop up here to this download button. There's a similar one in Safari, but you're going to see this, and this is all the things that I've downloaded today. All right, you can see the West Wolverines JPEG right there. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Word. There's two ways to find Word. It's probably either down in your dock, or you can go to your Launchpad here and open up Word. So the way that I slid through those is 2-finger slide to the right. All right, or you can even click on these buttons down here. We're going to go ahead and click on blank document and open it up to full screen. Now, if you see a black piece of paper, maybe you're in dark mode like I am, where it's a black background, and if you haven't changed the preferences, you're going to have a dark piece of paper. The way to fix that, or the way to change it if you do want to change it, is to go to Microsoft Word up here, Preferences, select General, and then down here it says dark mode has a dark page color. I'll click it just so you can see what it looks like. Do not do this mode. It skews with the color schemes that you'll be using, and when you do print it off, it'll look different than what you see on your page. So either turn off dark mode completely. That for me is a little bit bright. I prefer dark mode with white page. And exit out. All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to put in our picture. All right, so we're going to go here into our Insert tab. All right, this is called our ribbon. Okay, this full thing up here, and each tab opens up a new ribbon that have obviously different tools within it. So we're going to go to the Insert tab and click on Pictures. And since we saved it, it's going to be in a file. If you want to get a picture off the internet, you go photo browser. Oh, this is like pictures off your, oh man, like photo gallery, I believe. This is pictures you saved to your Finder, and this is pictures you can find offline using, I think, Bing. So we're going to go here. We have our West Wolverines, and we'll go ahead and insert. So this picture is wider than it is tall. All right, so that means it's a landscape photo. All right, if it was taller than it is wide, like this, that's a portrait. But we know that this is how it's supposed to be, so we want our piece of paper to look this way as well. So we're going to go into our Layout tab. In our Layout tab, we're going to change our orientation to landscape. Okay. Now, when you put a picture into Word, you can't move it around. All right. It's kind of locked in one place. This frustrates a lot of students. They forget that they need to go to wrap text. Now, you're going to see I'm clicked off the picture. All right. And there's no tab here next to developer. You might not have this developer tab. Don't worry about it. When I click on the picture, a picture format tab appears that I can now click on. This is going to help me edit anything with this picture. Once I click off, it disappears. All right. Another way to get options for the picture. This is the words I live by in computer apps. When in doubt, right click on it. All right. When you right click on it, it gives you a bunch of options here. So I can see I can wrap text here. This is what we need, or you can go up here and wrap text as well. So what we're going to look for is we're going to put it behind the text. Now we don't have any text on our page right now. That's fine. We'll get that. We'll get there soon. But once I put it behind my text, now I can freely move this picture around. So I'm going to put it up in the left-hand corner. Always adjust a picture by the corner tool. Never adjust it here or here, because as you can see, it really kind of alters how the people look and how your image looks. Unless if you're making me taller and skinnier, but otherwise we want to try to maintain as much integrity of the picture as we can. All right, so here's our picture. I want to kind of center the flags in the middle, and I think that looks pretty good there. So we're going to make a poster that just says West Wolverines. We're going to put West up top, Wolverines in the bottom. All right, so to do this, we need to go back to our Insert tab. We're going to go to Insert a Text Box. Whenever you're making a poster or a flyer, a magazine page, whatever you're doing for a project, and you're trying to kind of move text around specifically, we really want to use the text field. It makes it a lot easier to modify and adjust. So let's start just by typing in West. All right. As you can see, it looks really ugly right now. Don't worry, we'll fix it. So to highlight West, I can either highlight it like that, or I'm a big fan of the hotkeys. All right, and hit Command A. Now I can go to my Home tab and start modifying what my text is going to look like. So here is a list of text that I have. You can see the fonts show up. So I'm going to find something that kind of represents West, maybe a bolder font, a little bit more edgy. And I have a lot of fonts that I've downloaded off of thefont.com. You will have the ability to do that this year. So this is one that I downloaded, NCAA Marquette. Let's go ahead and throw that one up and see how it works. All right, so you can see that the top of West is getting cut off. I'm actually not going to use this one for that fact. You can fix it, but that's kind of an advanced little feature in Word that we won't get to today. Oh, let's see. All right, so here's West. I'm going to bump it up a little bit. Now you're going to notice I like to use this arrow, or A with the arrow up and A with the arrow down. All right, just you can click it, kind of see how big you want it, and instead of kind of taking a shot in the dark at numbers. And then once I get it to this size, I can always fine tune it by typing in like 135. All right, if I want it just a hair bigger. So there's my West. Now I want to get rid of the white background, and what you're going to notice, I'm going to move it down here so you can see the contrast a little bit better, is we're going to go to Shape Format, click on your text box, Shape Format, and Shape Fill. This fill, we're going to select No Fill. We are also going to select No Outline. Now, just to show you, there's a slight outline, right? Very thin outline on that text box. All right, so there's my West. Now I have West, it's up top, it's in the sky, it's dark. I'm probably going to want to make it white or a light gray. So I can go right here to Text Fill and just say I'm going to make it white. And when we get the Go Wolverines down here, there's this white line. So I'm going to make sure that I put a small an outline, not small, a nice outline on this text, and we'll make it black. So I'll go West. Here is my outline. Right now, no outline is selected. Remember, this is just the outline for the text. I select black. You can see it has been applied. And then, once again, if you're going to use an outline or do something I prefer to be bold, so I'm going to select 2 1/4 here. Just see how it looks. I want to make it a little bit bolder. Let's try 3. Remember, guys, you can always do and undo. I think students sometimes forget that. So a lot of times when you're doing something in design, just trial and error. So the beautiful thing now is that we have West done here. Say I wanted to really transform West and make it taller or wider. One of the cool kind of options here is this is my text effects. So you can see shadow, reflection, glow, bevel. This is a really big piece when we get to the Word PowerPoint or a Word certification test, but I think this is the most helpful. We go to transform and we go to this warp. So now I can take West and I can warp it however I want to. All right. So that's a nice feature to have. So I'm actually going to hit undo. I think West looked just fine the way it was. All right, so there's my West. I'm going to hit Command C. So I clicked on West, Command C, Command V. And as I do that, I just hold Command down and tap C and then tap V. Go ahead, put West down here, and I'm going to spell Wolverines. Grow this a little bit, make sure I spelled it right. All right, so you can see I spelled it right. I'm starting to notice that it's just a hair too big. So let's crank it down a bit. And I'll crank this one down a hair here too. All right. So there you have it. West Wolverines. There's your kind of motivational poster that you could print out and hang up and good to go. Now, just a note here, right? I really tried to, and I didn't measure this out by any means. I'm just kind of eyeing it up. The spacing between the edge of the paper and the font here, the edge of the paper and the font here, the edge of the paper font here, and same thing over there. So trying to make it as even as we can. Trying to put our center focal point in the middle, all right? And not trying to cover up anything that we deem important, all right? You can move this down just a skosh. So once again, I've been teaching this class for years, but I do the same thing. Throw it on there, move it around, and see what catches my eye the best, what I think looks the cleanest, and trust your gut. So the next thing you do is get advice from somebody. Say, hey, does this look like it belongs or is in the right spot? And you can always ask me or a neighbor. All right, guys. So there you have it. That is how you make your motivational poster. What you're going to be doing next is finding an image of your own and a quote of your own and doing the same thing. Putting a picture with your quote, just like we previewed the student examples. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully that helped. And comment below if you guys have questions or comments.